Hello and welcome to another breakdown on this channel. This channel might go through some changes. My main channel, which we put together all the nice, tight, edited pieces, which you can find in the link below, might just be turning to some general gaming. I've been wanting to do some videos on general gaming, not just Star Citizen. So I might be moving some more of the Star Citizen stuff to this channel. Keep an eye if you want to know. Hit the subscribe button. And if you want to join us live, what we're doing right now, this is recorded. You can see this is recorded on Twitch. Make sure you get over to the Twitch link. But we're going to be watching a to and fro with cargo. I got Jared Huckabee on my big screen above me, and I am excited to see this because this is going to go over some cargo changes likely coming in the future. And we all love cargo, don't we? We all want to be space truckers. I don't want to make you delay anymore. I've been waiting for this. This episode came out late. For me, for you guys, if you're watching on YouTube, it doesn't super matter, I guess, because a lot of you watch this a day late anyways. Let's watch Jared Huckabee talk about cargo. This is YouTube. Well, you guys are not on. You guys are on Twitch. This will be on YouTube though. So if you're on YouTube, say hi down below.
Sits at the very heart of the non-combat Star Citizen experience, and as it continues to evolve in the upcoming Alpha 323 and beyond, its next major evolution is less about the places you'll go and more about the ones you'll start and come back to. Now, hangars, whether they're persistent, instanced, personal, or staging, make up the next frontier of cargo gameplay.
Right.
And we went to Chad and his team for an early look at where they're going and how they're progressing. Let's find out more.
So I don't think they're committed yet.
So yeah, we've had a couple ISCs before to talk about the new cargo and hangars features coming. But now that we're here and about to release things, we want to talk a bit about how that impacts your play experience.
Even about to release things
at all about cargo.
Okay. Oh, that's not terrifying at all.
So let's start with persistent hangars.
Right.
What are they and what does that mean? So a persistent hangar is an instance hangar that is going to be assigned to you whenever you select your home location when logging into the game for the first time for a patch. When that happens, what we do is we determine the largest ship that you have and then entitle to you a persistent hangar that's of the size needed to facilitate that ship.
What if you buy, okay, but what if you buy, maybe he'll go over this, but what if you buy a new ship later on that's bigger? How do they adjust all the stuff that's in your hangar to that new hangar?
Go into that hangar into the game. That hangar at your home location is always your hangar, and you'll be able to use it like your home. You'll be able to keep things in the hangar. You'll be able to leave things around. You can invite friends in. You can treat it like your own little oasis.
Oh my God, that is terrifying.
So let's talk about for these personal hangars, how do you actually get into them?
Please proceed to side landing.
Oh, that's new. Oh, look at this new Moby glass. Hold up. We haven't really gotten a good look at this. You're on the school bus watching Star Citizen. What the? Look at this right now. Hello, everyone on the school bus, by the way. Look at, okay. I mean, that's a little different, but down here, home, health, comms, contracts, maps, journal, knickknacks, rep, MO trader, landing. Oh, landing. Oh, that's for fixing your ship. Okay. Because this is still under comms and vehicles. Most of the same stuff. Full-time hitman CIG. This looks super clean. I like this. Hi, me when the video goes. What the?
You can make a request via ATC for landing. And when we do that, we will check to see if you have any personal hangars entitled to you. You'll be able to enter in using largely.
If you have any personal hangars, I want to point out what he just said there. He said, if you have any personal hangars. So I'm assuming then you can have multiple hangars?
The same methodology that you do now. Land, and then you can just hang out in there. As far as what can you actually do with your personal hangar and what kinds of things can you decorate with it, what we're going to do is allow you to call anything in your inventory up via that freight elevator. You can pick it up off the freight elevator either with your hands or using the tractor beam and just strew it about your location however you pick.
My place is going to be a
Also
mess.
in the hangars, you'll notice several new kiosks. We have the freight elevator kiosk, which has a brand new UI and inventory system to deal with large volumes of
That was cool. Hold up. I want to go back and see what that first screen was.
new UI
Oh, that's just the start screen.
and
Okay.
inventory system to deal with.
What do we got? Platform, inventory view, request platform. Select all and select to send to warehouse, send to platform. Pan and zoom. What? Okay, well, I want to see what they do.
Large
with this.
volumes of cargo.
You're going to have on the left-hand side
Oh, they didn't show
a
us.
section that is showing the contents of the platform itself. And on the right-hand side, similar inventory layout with all your armor
Okay.
and weapons and items.
Drag it in.
And then you decide what you want to spawn in the freight elevator. The freight elevator then comes up, and then you can start doing like loading and unloading of various cargo into your ship and so
We're
on.
not showing the UI on the kiosk. I want
If you're considerate about how you're loading things and you're trying to optimize your loading times, it'll give you a lot of power as far as, for example, making sure that certain kinds of things are front-loaded on the platform to make your multi-crew loading as streamlined as possible. And anything that's in your inventory, you're going to be able to call up. Some things you might have to put into an inventory container box. We're talking 8, 16, 24, even 32 SKU.
I just got to mention how immersive this is now, though. Like, you don't just spawn a thing and it appears. You have to call it up, you have to load your ship, and you're going to be spending time with your friends in here being like, okay, let's move stuff back and forth. Oh, I need to get these guns out for my ship and move it in. I'm honestly, this is going to be so fun to watch people do too. Like just organizing their spaces is going to be so cool. I'm thinking, by the way, if you guys want to see this, let me know in the comments. I'm thinking of doing long plays. I might make a separate channel for that even, where I just put up 5 hours of gameplay of walking through a forest, relaxing, or 5 hours of just shit with no commentary. Let me know if you'd be interested in those kind of things to throw up in the background for just relaxing stuff.
Container boxes that you can put large items in. Now you can raise that up on the platform, including in collections, transfer that very quickly onto your
all
ship,
this new UI is
and
so
then
good.
take them to another location. In your personal hangar, you'll also have access to several other kiosks, starting with the item bank.
Which are another form of kiosk, which you could almost consider like a small freight elevator in a way, in that you can retrieve personal items such as clothing, armor, and weapons.
Because the item that's being delivered will be delivered in a tray that's in the same machine. So you interact that kind of like you interact with a loot box and you get that out. So no other player can actually physically get anything from your local inventory.
And these item banks can be found not just within the hangars, but also the wider location, such as your hubs and other key areas of a location to retrieve your personal items.
Since you can't interact with your inventory anymore at any given time, it means like we need to have enough item banks around each location so you don't block each other.
That's the big thing, is you're losing your inventory system that you used to be able to drag and drop stuff. You have to use hangars or these things now, and I love it because it's forcing you. Some people look at that as tedious, but I look at it as forcing you to play the game diegetically and remain in the world. And it feels it's that immense layer of immersion, of always interacting physically with the world, making it feel as deep as it does, rather than menus the whole time.
From accessing and a terminal, right?
It's just a quicker way to get a quick gun or a few meta pins or your armor without having to load it up from the freight elevator. And the last kiosk that I want to talk about is the ASOP terminal.
Okay. Oh.
Which we have positioned in the hangar, so you can request your ships from within the hangar and not just the spaceport.
So they will still remain in the spaceport. So if you don't have a personal hangar in your location, you can request your ship also from there.
What we're doing is we're changing the way that the ships spawn in the game.
Oh,
you can
this
now
looks so sick.
request your ships from within the hangar and they will appear to you. But they won't just come out of thin air. What happens is the whole of the floor will open
They'll
up.
spawn
You get
below.
this like
that's
amazing
so
view of the hangar. The lights dim, the doors open.
And
Bro,
the
that
landing
is so
platform will be
sick.
rising up towards you, and your ship will be there.
We try to
Tell me
balance
that's
it in a
not
way
sick.
that it doesn't take
Go into
too
the
much time
comments
for
and tell
you,
me that's
but
not
also
sick.
that it feels like it has the right weight to it, but also you don't have to wait for it too long.
So now you have a seamless transition and a realistic way of storing your ships away.
Additionally, you can do clever things like call up a smaller vehicle, such as a ground vehicle, drive it off, and then call up a larger vehicle. Then you'll have access to your ground vehicles without having to go to another location.
That's so cool.
You'll be able
man.
to call up multiple ships and maybe have one person fly off with one ship, call another one, have another person in your party fly up with another ship. Or you can just call up a ship, change your mind, and then call up a different ship without having to leave or anything like that. It gives you a lot of flexibility. And I can already tell what some of you are thinking right now. We're not going to let the system like eat your body and store it into the inventory or anything like that. We'll make sure to account for that such that if there's a blocking change that happens, we'll stop the process, go back up to the default state, and then tell the player about the issue so that they can account for it. If you do want to jump into the platform just before it closes and fall to your death, you can fall to your death if you want to.
If you want to be an idiot, be an idiot.
So this is really cool, and we're really happy to get this in. It's been discussed for some years now, and it's been a very tricky thing to fit in, and certain tech's required to be able to do it. You'd be able to have this hangar your own space and call your own ships and do a lot more within the hangar now.
Now that we're adding all of this new facility to the hangars in the game, allowing them to be persistent.
I just realized
adding these
Dragon's
free
Dogma 2 comes
elevators,
out tonight.
Adding the ship platform. There's a lot of
I'm excited.
more things that we have to have in these hangars for them to be useful for what we're adding.
So the hangar sizes had to increase quite a bit. We did not want to do that originally in the beginning, but soon when we did prototyping, we figured out that not all the hangars, as
Yeah,
I
'cause then
like
you
the
gotta go
low-tech
back to
hangars
the
in
art
particular,
team and,
are quite old by this point. Not all of them were to the same standards or metrics. So we figured that with the landing pad now going down, you had this gap for like quite some time before the doors close. So there was a very narrow walkway for the player sometimes. So we had to rejig some things and made it actually larger.
So the large and XL have had significant size changes. So the XL is about 20% larger, and the large is about 30% larger. So certain ships that were a little tight can now fit a lot more easily.
So you don't feel like your wings almost scratch the walls of it. So it feels a bit more natural and better to the play experience to land in your hangar now.
Yeah, you're not
The medium is the same, but taller.
you're not trying to parallel park in New
And
York.
the small has not been changed. But we have classified ships to fit into the medium that were once classified as small. So hopefully a much better player experience than there has been before. And it's been interesting
What a
to
great episode of
take
ISE.
The design of a elevator and the door and extrapolate that across multiple sizes. So in some cases you can kind of widen out the door and use the same shapes, and in some cases you need to think really about how those shapes work, and sometimes they don't work within a small door, for example, when it did work in a much wider
Hello,
door.
Chris.
So we've had to play around with that and keep them looking consistent with each other, but also adapt those shapes to work for each size.
So this is an actualization of a long-term goal for this entire cargo career, to make the whole thing feel more real. It means that
That's what I was
the whole
saying.
experience is going to
It
allow
feels
for
grounded.
manual loading. It'll also feel more rewarding because it'll give you more interesting choices to make throughout the process. It'll make multi-crewing a more interesting and useful experience.
Yep, I
It's
said
going
that.
to
I
just
said
make
that
the
at the
whole
beginning.
experience
Having to crew
more
people-
skill-intensive and interesting and tactile.
And that's what Star Citizen's about.
Another thing that we've talked about is automated loading in the games. This allows you to still do commodity trading without needing to actually move the boxes yourself. It will be an option in the commodity terminal. Whenever you go and you pick the destination inventory, you'll be confronted with several options. One is the location inventory. The next will be all your ships that are at the location. If you choose a ship, you'll have the option to have it be automatically unloaded or loaded for you, of course, with an added cost. The ship has to be stored to allow for the transfer, and it will be time locked while that transfer is occurring.
How long?
Different locations in the game will have different.
Oh, that's it? That's pretty fast. What?
Amounts of time. Places that are more optimized for trade are going to allow for faster transfer. You'll be able to still do the trading. You just have to wait a little bit and pay a bit more money. So your profits won't be quite as good in that case.
But you might be saving
automatic
time. 4 minutes for an auto load? Like you're probably saving a lot of time from manual loading. But I guess, yeah, as you said, it depends on the space. There might be some spaces where manual loading is going to be a better option.
Loading process is finished.
I like that.
You can
That's
just
cool.
go to the Ace Hub terminal in the hangar, access it, raise it, and go off. And
Man,
you're on your way.
cargo running is getting. It's like
If you
it
care
feels
about
complete.
cargo, this is going to be transformational.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But even if you're not interested in cargo at all, it's still a foundational change for the game that fundamentally changes principles about
Size of the ship,
inventory, physicality, and your play experience.
The work's ongoing. We're nearly there. I think the team's done a great job on this. It's been tricky to get it working as it should be.
It's a big milestone for the game that's been years in the making and coming. While I'm here to talk about it today, there's been a large number of teams across the entire company that have helped. Everybody from art, animation, VFX, through to all of the gameplay teams.
So I said, especially
engine
reworking the
teams.
size
We've
of
had
everything.
A huge effort from Austin, Montreal, Los Angeles, Frankfurt, Manchester. It's been a big endeavor. So I want to thank everyone that's been helping to see this vision through, and I'm really looking forward to getting this into your hands so that you can play with it.
Still not committed to 323 though, as far as I know. So what did we learn today?
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that the days of big ships scraping by the edges of player hangars are almost behind us. That you'll soon be able to spawn your ships and have them rise up directly into these newly expanded hangars. And that the freight elevators and item banks within will herald a new future of physicalized cargo loading that should have long-reaching ramifications for life in the verse. And of course, while everything you see on ISC is always an early work in progress, because of the dramatic and far-reaching effects these systems will have on all life in the verse, you can expect this work will continue to iterate and evolve from what you've just seen between now and its upcoming targeted release in Alpha 323.
Targeted,
For
again,
Inside
not
Star
committed
Citizen,
yet.
I'm Jared Huckabee. Thanks for letting us share the process of game development
Wait,
with
did
you.
he say when? I was talking at the same time. I thought
Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Targeted release in Alpha 323.
He didn't say
For
when.
Inside Star Citizen,
We still don't know
I'm
when
Jared
it's gonna come
Huckabee.
out.
Thanks for letting us share the process of game development with you. And we'll see you all here next week.
Which I'm very happy about because I am working on a 323 patch to drop, or video to drop on my main channel when the patch drops, but I'm away next week, so I'm hoping the patch is still a little ways off. All right, another teaser for Fauna, maybe? What do we get at the end here?
Hi.
Hi.
We had a meme image for the end of the show. It's been our thing this season. This week's was a little too hot for TV. So we're going to put this week's image in your hands. I'm going to give you a frame, and you put whatever you want on here. There you go. And here's my face. Knowing
That's
this is
funny.
a bad idea.
That's funny.
That's a mistake. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. It's a mistake.
Someone's going to put a big penis on it. Okay, that was a great episode. Wow. What a great episode, in my opinion. This is going to, as they've said, I'm just going to reiterate basically what they've said. This is going to transform the way not just people with cargo interact with cargo, but just in general, the way you interact with the world around you. This was a massive change coming. Not committed yet, so hopefully we'll see it in 323. But the fact that this is this close is amazing. Hey, thank you for the donut. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, absolutely massive. I love the kiosks and pulling your hangar up. To me, that was the coolest thing, is the ship rising from the floor. You know Doyle and I are going to be jumping into that. That's going to happen. I'm just letting you know. So there will be footage of that. So if you want to see that, make sure you're either watching the stream or you're over on the main channel. We put a lot of behind the scenes stuff there if you join it. So if you do want to support me, you can join up and get a lot of extra content over there. But I'm not going to drag out this outro any longer because most of you already clicked off anyways. Thank you guys for watching the episode. Hit subscribe if you want to see more. Either way, thanks for being here. Bye-bye.